shout out to Bob, who has become Kevin's best friend. And that's an insider for the listeners of Stats Over Politics, especially last week's episode. But Bob was blowing up my phone during that Thursday night game saying, how could the 49ers give up 12 points to the Giants? We put a goose egg on them. How could they give up 12 points to the Giants? Well, the Cowboys lost by 12 points to the Cardinals, who are the leading candidate in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. And so it's honestly ridiculous. Manny, I'm going to toss this to you first as a fan of an NFC West team being the Seattle Seahawks. What did you think?
Another bird team.
Another bird team, right? And another bird
pigeons.
team.
No, don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sea pigeons, I mean, I call them something else, but I'm just going to be nice because what I call them is explicit, so I'll just leave it there. But you're a Seahawks fan, Manny, and so was this just a blip on the radar? Are the Cardinals legit? Was this a bad look for the Cowboys? I know that they lost Trevon Diggs to a torn ACL in practice this past week leading up to the game, but what did you see on Sunday between the Cardinals and the Cowboys?
I think the Cardinals played a great game. They was able to run the ball. You know, I don't care what anyone say. If you look back at all the teams that do well, make it deep into the playoffs, they all able to have some type of running game. And the Cardinals, they were able to run the ball on this stout Cowgirls defense. Yes, do I feel like with Trevon Diggs being hurt, did it impact them? I do think so. I'm not going to say that he's not a highly touted cornerback in the NFL because he is. But did I think it was a huge hindrance for them to where they should have lost? No, I don't think that at all. But I just want to, if anything, I give it up to the Cardinals. The Cardinals had their game plan. They made it happen, and they ended up coming out with the win. Cowboys, they blew it. Let's just say that. They just blew it.
Khalil, what did you think about Josh Dobbs absolutely running all over the Dallas Cowboys, the vaunted Cowboys defense that until yesterday, a lot of people like to claim that they were the best defense in the NFL. But if Josh Dobbs is running all over you, I think that says everything it needs to.
Yeah, that was a surprising game. I was expecting the Cowboys to at least blow them out as like they blew out the Giants, but kudos to the Cardinals for being able to run the ball. I feel like, they probably had some mental aspects of Trevon Diggs going down, one of their leaders of defense. But I just feel like the Cardinals they're still a horrible team. I'll just say that. I'm sorry. They're still a horrible team, but it's a good win, a good morale.
What does that mean for the Cowboys then?
You heard what he said. You heard what he said.
I don't know. We'll see next week if they bounce back. Aren't they playing the Dolphins next week or something?
No, the Dolphins got the Bills coming up. So I don't off the top of my head, I'm not sure who the Cowboys got, but it'll be interesting without a doubt.
They have to bounce back.
So, Kevin, I will toss it to you last because I know that you are just going to eviscerate them boys. 100%. So, Toddy, what did you think? I mean, was this kind of just a blip on the radar? It's just, as Bob liked to say, any given Sunday. I don't know about that. But what do you think, Toddy?
I got Josh Dobbs on my refrigerator, and I'm throwing darts at him. I'm going to be throwing darts at him. I'm dodging the darts. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw Josh Dobbs' TikTok. I don't have TikTok yet, but Kev sent it in the group chat and posted Josh Dobbs basically trolling Micah Parsons when he said on his podcast about Josh Dobbs. But the Cardinals rushed for 222 yards. I feel like that was a very distinctive part in the game. It's going to be hard, like Manny already said. If your team is able to rush for over 200 yards, you're going to win the game most of the time. Dak Prescott throwing very timely picks in the red zone when they're trying to, cut into the lead a little bit and you're kicking field goals and this, that, and the third. They can't. The Cowboys went for it on fourth down on one of the red zone tries, and that led them driving down the field in like 3 plays and scoring a touchdown. So unable to really convert in the red zone, not really being able to convert points, turning the ball over in the red zone. and allowing all these rush yards. A lot of people are going to say, well, Trayvon Diggs, Trayvon Diggs is I think, in my opinion, is a top 5 corner in this league. I don't think the Cowboys really should have been hindered by Trayvon Diggs in this game because you're playing against Josh Dobbs. It's not Rodgers. You're not playing against Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Like, you're not playing against any one of those guys. You're playing against literally a backup quarterback who was picked up off of the street literally 2 weeks before the season started and has been, I wouldn't say tearing the league up, but I mean, he's been, kind of popping some eyes here and there. And they had a big lead against, the Giants a few weeks ago. They ended up giving that up. So, I mean, the Cardinals have been putting up points in the NFL. So they're in contention to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, but they're not playing like one of the worst teams in the NFL. That's another team, Chicago Bears, that we'll probably end up getting into a little later. But the Cardinals are a very feisty team that a lot of people probably look over because they don't have their starting quarterback. But Josh Dobbs has been playing very exceptional. And, a lot of people think that their head coach is quirky, putting your fire in your belly. But the Cardinals, they like playing for him, I guess. So as for the Cowboys, I mean, it's so frustrating with the Cowboys because, Kevin has already said that a lot of people wanted to crown them after 2 weeks of the season. I feel like most of America was kind of up on that train a little bit. And for them to kind of go out and lose to the Cardinals is kind of like, this is not surprising because this is something that the Cowboys usually do. They lose games that they're supposed to win all the time. And usually in prime time, they start to shrivel up. A lot of people are starting to come for Dak Prescott's head and say, hey, is he really a top 10 quarterback? I'm not sure. Or is he just Kirk Cousins in Dallas? That's what a lot of people like to say. Two things can be right at the same time, but right now it's Dak has to play better. I didn't know if the play calling was that good. When you're down by 2 scores and you're running the ball, when you kind of have to abandon the run game a little bit. I get that the run game was working for them, but you kind of have to be in a pass-heavy situation when you're down by 2 scores with like 9 minutes left. I didn't really think there was a sense of urgency. Even when they got to the red zone several times, they didn't feel like there was a sense of urgency to try and score quickly so they could retain the ball back. But that's neither here nor there. Cardinals beat the Cowboys. Cowboys got to play better. Cowboys are supposed to be a top 3 team. Are they a top 3 team in the NFC? We're not sure.
Kevin, you have the floor.
All right. So the Cowgirls. Everyone purchased their tickets to Vegas. Everyone was ready to go. They're booking the rooms, seeing what shows are going to be going. And I don't know why. I've been telling everybody it comes down Vegas, to the quarterback. The Super Bowl's in Vegas. I'm telling everybody it comes down to the quarterback. Coming into last week, Dak Prescott accounted for 2 touchdowns. Not every game is going to be the Jets and the Giants. I know the defense got some scoop and scores and some interceptions, giving them nice yardage on the other side. If it comes down to Dak, he's going to fuck it up. Let's just be honest. He threw it into triple coverage for the game-winning pick. And Toddy mentioned to me all offseason that this secondary, best in the league, bringing in Stephon Gilmore. Toddy talked about when he won defensive MVP when we were 4 years old. All he saw on Sunday was number 2, Brown. That's all he saw all game. That's all he saw. He was chasing him the whole game. And you're telling me this is the best defense in football? You gave up 185 rushing yards to the Arizona Cardinals, to James Conner. Garry, I hope you're listening because I know that's your man. You guys let him walk, and he's coming in hot. So it's embarrassing to see that them do this. And then the last thing I'm going to say on this, at the end of the first game with the Jets and the Bills, Josh Allen threw a pick to lose the game. He came out and said, I got to be better. I lost us this game. I cannot keep doing this. Dak throws a game-losing interception. Well, we are who we thought we are. You got to be better.
It ain't my fault.
No, you got to be better, my guy. Going into last season when they're trailing, Dak has thrown 9 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Toddy mentioned the red zone. The past 2 weeks they've been horrible in the red zone. Against the Cardinals, they were 1 for 5, and last week they were 2 for 6. They were the best red zone team in the NFL with a 75% completion, and they fired their OC. So everyone's been talking about this new OC and how they're going to come in here, and Mike McCarthy's going to call plays. And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Dak Prescott. And this day, he was not the better quarterback. And I just want to go out here and throw out Kazir White called him a bum. Next play, picked him off and sent him home.